And the G20 Summit, ma'am, the leaders meet came at a time when the World Bank actually lauded the government of India's efforts at the DPI and said that what you all managed to do in 6 years, any country would not have done it in 5 decades.
That's right.
You know, these moments coming at a time when the leadership summit was held last weekend, and then Prime Minister making that announcement on day one itself. What made the government and the chair make that announcement on day one that a consensus has been reached? And from the time when you held the finance track meetings and the boards of governors to now, what really changed? You had made substantive inroads then, but then reaching consensus on Russia-Ukraine war paragraph.
The first thing, the decision to announce it even on the first day was because the consensus was reached, had been reached already. So why should it wait for the second day? One. And second, I think some of the leaders had to leave a bit earlier in the second day. We wanted to announce it with everybody being around here, so it doesn't lead to any unnecessary questioning. In everybody's presence it was announced, and so immediately we came to announce it in the media so that it becomes public knowledge. Anyway, it was all agreed upon, so why not announce it at the earliest rather than wait for a demo? That was one thing. Second, I will credit every one of the tracks, ministerial tracks, whether it's environment, whether it's labor, whether it is health, or the finance track, any case. All of us had agreed and made sure the agenda that we had laid on the table had all been exhaustively discussed and agreed upon. Now, the ministers therefore couldn't have issued a communique only because, although all elements were agreed upon, we couldn't have issued a communique only because the language on the war-related paragraphs, we were still carrying on with the Bali language. And the Bali language is what we thought we were mandated to use, and that was the truth as well. So we stuck to the Bali language. And when there were questions on why this language cannot be changed, we were very clear in saying, and that everyone did agree, we didn't have as ministers the mandate to change a language which was agreed upon in Bali in the leaders summit there. So that had to be left to the leaders to change. So the consensus was arrived on the various agenda for each of the tracks. But on the one topic on which some ministers' tracks had 1 or 2 paragraphs, some other on that same topic had 3 paragraphs. So it was one issue on which we didn't have as ministers the mandate to change that language, and that was therefore left to the leaders, and the leaders also thrashed it out and arrived at a consensus, and which is why the communique comes as a declaration in the Delhi Declaration, and our tracks of the ministers had to stop short of it.